welcome back to another haul video. Well, I technically did my last haul video a couple weeks. I think it was like last little week ago, I think it was. But this is the first one I've done in a year. I've done a haul video for stuff I got at Comic-Con. Yep, Comic-Con. This year basically was different than last year per se. For one thing, the booths had a lot more variety this time. Yes. And I didn't feel disappointed with this one. Well, the first one I thought was really good. Second one, yeah, it was complete pointless to go in this room. They had like 2 rooms they took up. That's some comics. At least they had a booth. They actually sold freaking trades this time. And at least it wasn't like 1 or 2 trades. They actually had a whole freaking box of these damn things. Which, thank you for that. Alright, now, I got a couple things signed. Plus, I got several things. First up, it is Menta. Yep, I picked him up from Comic-Con. And it cost me $25. Yeah, with the exception of a few other things when I got there. Most everything I purchased today was between $20 and $25. This was like $25 this one. Yep. Alright, next up is something that's actually in pieces right now. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I actually got my first figure that's based on an anime from a light novel. Which one, you might ask? Yeah, this one I got, it's similar to the one I got for Luffy. It is Ram. Yep, Ram from ReZero. Which you're probably like, huh, that's interesting. I never suspected to get a Ram figure. My only guess is the reason why that they were selling this is because the second season had just aired. Yeah, so I was surprised because I have never seen, when I went to a Comic-Con last year, didn't see any, there may have been some ReZero, but I was watching at that point. But there you go, Ram. Yeah, Ram, the twin sister of Rem. Yep, that is supposed to be Ram. Despite that gets pink hair, but yeah, it's Ram. This one looks like Rem. Has the same expression as Rem. Alright, next up is one of the first 2 things I got signed. So technically I got the second thing signed. It is Ruby. I got the voice actress for Whis. I got her to sign it. Just like I got last year, I got Blake's voice actress, Aaron Zek, to sign it. I even got a picture with her too. I'll show it off later. But yeah, 2 more to go. And I even told her basically I'm hoping to get all 4 of you ladies basically to sign this. And when she saw it, it's like, oh, the OG! Yeah, she was so happy to see this. Because it's the very first season of RWBY. I watched this season, and I told her I just have not had a chance to watch the rest of the show after season 2. But yeah, I probably will eventually watch in the future again. Here is the third and last figure I got, which is Cola. Yes, a character is currently appearing in the Dressrosa arc for the English dub. I got this for $30. Well, yeah, it was a pretty decent price. At least this was probably by far my second highest purchase I made, but at least it wasn't $35 like the Paul Hancock figure, which is let's see if I can do this here. Yeah, if you can see it there, it just below my ear. Yeah, it's my Paul Hancock figure. That's that was like $35 at that thing. Alright, here's the first graphic novels I got. I got Transformers the Manga, Volume 3. What I think in the rest? Possibly. I love Transformers. That's the reason why I got it. Yeah, according to the guy, they make manga and everything. Not just light novels, but also Harley Quinn romance novels. Everything people love making manga on. But Transformers, I knew about this one for quite a while. It's just I never got my hands on it. I've seen it, just I've never got a chance to get my hands on it, but now I do. Here is a self-published novel. This is Scarlet Moon. I even got the writer of this book, who actually was there. He was selling it, and he signed it. Yep, on the main page. Yep, I got him to sign it. It's a great-looking book. I love the cover, and I even pointed out to him that it looks like a supernatural story. And, yep, definitely is. Yeah, some people were there were quite surprised. I was able to point out a genre what this book is just by looking at it. Probably because I've seen a lot of this stuff. That's probably the reason why. Here's the other thing I got signed. I got this signed by Kyle Phillips. Yep, he plays Escanor, the talking penguin. I figured though, why not? He was actually very happy to see this. Yeah, very happy the fact that I brought this because I wanted to surprise him. Because I told him on Twitch basically that I was going to be coming to see him at Comic-Con, and he knew I was coming, so I told him on there basically was looking for to see me, and well, he got his me in person. Yeah, so technically he's the first voice actor who I met on Twitch first, then met physically in person. Nice guy to me in person. We chatted for a bit and took a picture, and that's it. Yep, this is actually the entirety of the. This is actually another self-published comic. This is Deep Space Tragedy. I got all 4 issues of this series. That's issue 1, issue 2, 3. This is issue 4. And this here is the sketchbook. Yep, the sketchbook of basically behind the scenes stuff. Surprised this writer then basically decided to put this as a trade paperback. Yep. Now here's the other, and this is actually the last of the self-published books I got. Because one was a novel and these other 2 were comics. I got the 2 issues of the Book of Lexia. And this is another book I easily put in the genre just by looking at it. Sci-fi fantasy. You always think of sci-fi because of the planets, fantasy because of the wand. And I was correct. This is basically a murder mystery of all the pantheons. Basically, there's a murder happening and who done it. I did see also the guy who did Titans, but I didn't stop by his booth because I haven't read his comics yet. And this is another book I got from him. This is Blowtorch, who appearance-wise, they even have a figure of him there. I'm not kidding about that. Appearance-wise, look at him like, this guy looks almost exactly like Bane from DC. And well, he did agree with that. He does look like him, except that he actually shoots out. He has a flamethrower on his back instead of basically pop tank of venom. Alright, and unlike last year, I got 1 graphic novel. Showcase Presents Robin Volume 1. This year was different. This year, I got 7 graphic novels. I got Batman, The Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. Yes. And this is by far the last trade to talk about when it comes to Grant Morrison's time on Batman. Yep. This is the only thing left because I've already covered, I would say I pretty much covered everything. I think like the only thing left I can think of aside from this is time in the Batman. And that's pretty much it for his time on Batman. Because I got pretty much like everything else. And here's a surprise for you. Look at this. The entire run of Jeff Loeb's run on Hulk. Hulk Volume 1, Red Hulk. Volume 2, Red and Green. Yeah, this is during this is 3 issues that was a split book for a brief period of time. Volume 3, Hulk No More. I really wish I could get my hands on the Greg Pak Incredible Hulk issues, the ones that came up this period of time. But I didn't see them there. Hulk versus X-Force. And the last 2 trades, which are Hulk, Fall of the Hulks, which by the way this cover is a homage to Fall Muse. And finally, World War Hulks. This is the Hulk side of it, which is great. The fact I got my hands on this thing. Yep. And well, that's pretty much it when it comes to the stuff I got at Comic-Con today. Yeah, it was actually a pretty good haul. Didn't get a lot per se. I mean, you look at it, it's like that's not a lot per se, but it's not like I got nothing per se. I got a pretty good decent haul. Though normally, like before the second last Comic Con I went to, a lot of stuff I got were trade paperback. This time was only 7, but at least this time was actually more than 1. And these trades were $5 a piece. Now these are 7 trades. 5 times 7 normally be about like 35 ish. But here's the thing. I got these trades for $25, which that's actually pretty good. Yeah, pretty good amount. Yeah, with exception, like I said, with the exception of that one Ren, not this one here, with the exception of that Quell figure, everything else basically I purchased today was between $20 to $25. The Quell figure was second highest. But before I close this out, pictures. Yep, picture time. Yes, the pictures I took at Comic Con today. Alright, here you go. Me and Kyle Phillips. Yeah, him doing the whole blank dinky for that was actually quite funny. Me and the voice actors from RWBY. I got 2 pictures with her. Can't tell which one's better. It was actually kind of a selfie. Myself and Karen Ashley. Yeah, the only one basically where it was second time for me. Though this time I didn't hold the morpher this time, she did. Probably for sanitary reasons. And also last time, I did mention this to her. Last time I saw her, she brought a replica of her helmet she wore on the show. She said it was a bit too much. And I did also ask her some stuff about the show. Like, one of the first things I asked her was, one thing I asked her was, which you like wearing better, the spandex or the suit from the movie? And she says, the spandex. And I even told her I thought that the command center from the show was, I like that better because I'm used to it. And she agreed. Now, the one from the movie was fantastic. And I didn't talk to her I talked to the actor who was actually right next to her table. And here's something interesting, though. Kyle Phillips and... Oh, I forgot the woman's name here. I'm not trying to find her name here. Kira Eberly, the one from RWBY. Yeah. The way they had their tables was that, well... Yeah, the way they had their tables was that these two who predecessed the credit card was the same person. And, which, they probably did just as a cost-save measure. And I talked to her for a little bit, the fact that I met her co-star last year at this particular con, which she was very happy about that. And the fact that I've met also Austin Tennant, I mentioned both to her and Kyle Phillips. Now, Kyle Phillips, basically, when I talked to him, with him, basically, I told him on Twitch I was going to see him at Comic-Con, basically, as a guest, that I'm going to basically come there and bring some sign. And he does remember that, and I got a chance to meet him in person, and was the first time that I actually met a voice actor on Twitch first, then met in person at Comic-Con. There was a couple others I met in person first, then Twitch, and those two were Kyle Herbert and Todd Heppercore, who actually just recently started streaming on Twitch. Yeah, he started doing Twitch in the last couple months. Now, this next guy is actually somebody I did not expect to get a picture with here. But, yeah. It's the actor who played Bulk from Bulk and Skull. Of the Bulk and Skull duo. Yeah, I talked to this guy for a little bit. I talked about his hair. Because at the time the show started, because I mentioned I was born in 1988, I was only 5 when the show first started. Though I initially watched it later, but I did remember that he did pop up in an episode of Wild Force. Fred Ray. He ran a restaurant, and the fact that you were working for Tommy, even though the only restaurant, which was quite hilarious. And the fact that you were I talked about that scene, yeah, he agreed. We even talked about the fact that he appeared on Power Ranger Samurai, which was his last broadcast appearance, which he does remember that. I did bring up to him. I didn't see very much on the show. He interacted with the Rangers very much. Well, there was a reason. Because of his busy schedule, because he was flying back and forth between LA and New Zealand. So that was the reason why that he did not interact with the Rangers very much. And he said that the whole thing was hair when he got his head shaved bald. That was actually his idea. That was all his idea. And, well, yeah, great guy me in person. And he's by far, I was kind of surprised. He was behind this table. The other three were. He wasn't. Karen Ashley was the only one of all the four guests that were there who actually wore a mask. Actually, there was a couple others. But Karen Ashley was the one who actually kept the mask on. Everybody else didn't. No one else did. Probably because, basically, they have a recognizable face. Though in the case of Paul, that's the guy who plays Bulk, he was actually out in front of his table talking to people, which is, well, quite interesting. And it's on his table. He had stopped various different costumes he wore on the show. Like one time dressed in drag. Like various different costumes he wore in the original Mighty Morphin series. They even have a picture from him on the Power Rangers Hyperforce series. Now, I personally have never listened to Hyperforce. I've heard it's really good. And I pointed out to the person there that the morpher he's using looks a lot like the Time Force morpher. Yep. Now, I did not ask him why he had the lamb chops. He probably just screwed it himself. But this guy is an awesome at me in person. And according to Karen Ashley, she said that he had only just gotten to going to the convention circuit just in the last few years. He probably was not really interested in doing it, but it was only in the last few years he basically just got into it. And in the case of Karen Ashley, when I was talking to her, it had been 2 years since last saw. I mentioned it was Tampa Comic Con. I mentioned Replica Helmet. Yeah, she has a Replica Helmet, and I did show her the picture. I even brought up to her that at that very same con that the woman who succeeded her, and I even pointed this out to her, like in person, and she was so appreciative. I pointed this out that her appearance-wise did not change since she left the show, and she was so appreciative of that. Heck, even the woman who replaced her, she looks like exactly the same, aside from the fact she's gotten older. I did not mention to her that I'm like 12 years younger than she is. I did not mention that to her at all. Nope, I did not mention that to her. And plus, when I took this picture with her, this is actually behind her table. Yeah, this is actually behind her table. I basically give a thumbs up because I'm just very happy to talk to her. Aside from the picture, I didn't get very much from her at all. Nope. Oh yeah, this was a joke on his part. Paul playing a joke. Like, oh yeah, wear the mask. So I figured, look, just take the mask off. Just take pictures of the mask. Yeah, the only one I took a mask on with was Karen Ashley. She was the only one I did take a mask on with. Everybody else, I took the mask off. And I'm sure that probably this might give some attention on Facebook, like Aaron Zach did last year. I don't know how old she is. Aaron Zach, when I met her last year, she's like 27. I'm actually older than she is. How old is Kara Everly? I mean, she looks great. Absolutely fantastic. She is currently 31. Yep, she's 31 years old, which means I'm 2 years older than she is. I didn't. Like, yeah, I didn't mention to her the fact that, well, it's complete obvious, just like with Aaron Zach when I met her, the fact that I'm obviously taller than she is. Yes, it is so obvious. In the case of the actor who played, now Karen, so obvious the fact that I'm taller than her. The actor who plays Bulk, he and I are about the same height, despite the fact he's actually 10 years older than me. Surprisingly, Kyle Phillips is actually, he's the only one of the four people there who's actually taller than me. I was actually quite surprised about that because I did not expect that to him being taller than me. No. But these four people are awesome to me in person. And Paul, the actor who plays Bulk, he just loves talking to people. Yeah, he was talking to various people. I talked to him for a bit. Now, for him, I was going to think of bringing, like in the case of Karen Ashley, I was going to bring Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie to sign for her. But then I saw the asking price for a combo with that in the picture. it was going to be $60. So I was like, I saw them like, no, I'll just get a picture with them, and it's fine. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the pictures will be on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Some point later, I'll put them up later. But yeah, I would not be surprised if Kira basically, where I get a lot of attention with pictures with her on Facebook, like I did with Aaron Zach. Like I even mentioned that to her that picture got me a lot of attention on Facebook. Like I even mentioned to her, like it's almost like people thought we were a couple, which we weren't at all. We're just basically just two people taking pictures together. Now, of course, when I showed her the first season DVD, she was so happy to see it. When I showed her, where did I put it? I know I put it over here. Here we go. When I showed her this, I brought this for her to sign. She's like, "Oh, the OG season." She was so happy to see this. Yeah. Yeah, so freaking happy the fact that I brought that for her to sign. And of course, like I told her, that I'm hoping to get all four you ladies to sign this. And she's very supportive of that. I don't know if I'll get the rest of the cast to sign it, but my hope is to get the four main ladies to sign it. Yes, last year was Aaron Zek. This year was Keira Ebley. So there are officially two left. I did see a couple cosplayers posing as Ruby from Ruby. Like, one I saw several people cosplay as this Demon Slayer, because the movie just came out. So no surprise there. I saw like one person dressed up as Spider-Man. There was a couple characters I used to see at Comic-Con over the years, and that's Deadpool and Harley Quinn. And here's a shocker for you. There was nobody, I didn't see anybody cosplay as Deadpool or Harley Quinn. There was one they pointed out that was a Master Chief chef. I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah. And the girl in front of me in line for Kyle Phillips, she was cosplaying as Himiko Toga. Yep. And when I went to the table to get my ticket scanned in, there was a little girl who was dressed up as Froppy. Which, I didn't mention it to her, but I love the character Froppy. I didn't talk to her at all. Like, I recognized the costume just from behind it because she was basically back to me. I knew that was Froppy right away, and there's also a girl in front of me when I was going in line and get a little snack for some food there, and this woman basically was just being lazy trying to cosplay as Raven from Teen Titans. I easily pointed this out because the hair and the diamond. And she's like, yep. Yeah, that's something, though, the fact that some people are like, what, you point stuff out just by look at it? Yes, because I've seen a lot of this stuff before. Yep. So, they were all appreciative, basically, the stuff I said. I mean, nothing I said to them. The only one I was kind of upset with was Kyle Phillips. I did kind of spoil something for him for Black Clover, which he didn't like that very much. But I told him it happened later on, so don't worry, it happened later. It's not like it's going to happen like in the next couple episodes or two. It happens in the current arc. And he did mention, though, that he's reading light novels, which I do like the fact he's reading them. Like, he's probably like the second one I heard of who actually is reading light novels for Overlord. Yeah, talking about Get You Thirsty. So yeah, I was really happy with this con, and really happy with the stuff I get. Now in the case of the Hulk books and the Batman trade, those will be reviewed in the future. Don't worry about that. Yep, but the next thing we're going to do is a Comic Corner on the last two trades for Kieran Gillen. You'll find out why. Okay, next video. Bye.